Hey everyone, this is Mike. Welcome back. Today we're going to see how would an Adlerian or individual therapy therapist help people deal with the current Israel and Iran conflict war. So let's start. An Adlerian therapist, when helping people deal with the current Israel-Iran conflict, would focus on the individual's subjective interpretation of events, their striving for significance and belonging, and the importance of social interest. While Adlerian therapy primarily works with individuals, its principles can be extended to understand the dynamics within and between groups. Here's how an Adlerian therapist might attempt to help in this current conflict. 1. Addressing feelings of discouragement and inferiority. Individual helplessness. For many people, a large-scale conflict like the Israel-Iran war can evoke profound feelings of helplessness and discouragement. Individuals may feel like their actions don't matter or that they are powerless against global forces. An Adlerian therapist would acknowledge these feelings but quickly work to counteract them by emphasizing the individual's capacity for choice and contribution. Striving for significance. Adler believed all humans strive for significance or superiority. In a conflict, this can manifest in healthy ways, for example, striving for peace, contributing to humanitarian aid, or unhealthy ways, for example, seeking dominance, blaming others, resorting to aggression. The therapist would explore how the individual is trying to find significance in relation to the conflict. Collective inferiority-superiority complexes. Speculatively, an Adlerian perspective might view the conflict in part as a manifestation of collective inferiority complexes or exaggerated strivings for superiority between nations. Each side might feel a deep sense of historical injustice or a need to assert its power and importance on the world stage, leading to aggressive posturing and actions. The therapist would not directly treat nations, but this understanding would inform their work with individuals, helping them see the broader psychological dynamics at play. 2. Fostering social interest. The breakdown of social interest. War is a stark illustration of a breakdown of social interest, the innate human capacity for empathy, cooperation, and concern for the well-being of the larger community, humanity. The conflict fuels division, demonization, and a focus on narrow self-interest, national or group. Reorienting towards contribution. The therapist would help individuals struggling with the war to reconnect with their social interests. This might involve encouraging acts of kindness and connection. Even small acts of support for others, friends, family, local community, can combat feelings of isolation and despair. Promoting engagement in humanitarian efforts. Donating, volunteering, or advocating for peace, even if the impact feels small, can give individuals a sense of purpose and contribution, counteracting helplessness. Shifting focus from me to we. Encouraging individuals to think beyond their immediate fears and consider the broader human family, recognizing shared humanity. Building community feeling. War often shatters community. The therapist would encourage individuals to seek out or build supportive communities, whether online or in person, where they can share their feelings, find mutual support, and collectively engage in constructive activities. 3. Examining private logic and mistaken goals. Understanding individual responses. The therapist would explore the private logic, the unique and often unconscious belief that shape an individual's response to the war. For example, someone might believe, I must constantly follow the news to be prepared for the worst, leading to anxiety, while another might believe, I am powerless, so I should withdraw, leading to apathy. The therapist would gently challenge these beliefs if they are unhelpful. Identifying mistaken goals. Sometimes individuals adopt mistaken goals in response to overwhelming situations. These might include attention-seeking, constantly talking about the war to get sympathy; power-seeking, trying to control others' opinions or actions regarding the conflict; revenge, harboring intense anger or wishing them harm upon the other side; withdrawal, giving up hope and disengaging from life. The therapist would help the client recognize these goals and their long-term ineffectiveness in fostering well-being. Challenging blame and criticism. Adlerians believe that conflict arises from a sense of discouragement and a focus on criticizing and blaming others. The therapist would gently guide individuals away from endlessly blaming external factors or groups and instead focus on what they can choose to do. 4. Encouragement and reorientation. Courage to be imperfect. The therapist would emphasize the courage to be imperfect, encouraging individuals to take action even if they can't solve the whole problem or don't feel perfectly capable. Small, consistent efforts can make a difference. focus on strengths and resources. Instead of dwelling on the overwhelming nature of the conflict, the therapist would help individuals identify their inner strengths, resilience, and external resources, support networks, skills that can help them cope and contribute, goal setting and action planning. The therapist would work collaboratively with the client to set realistic, actionable goals related to managing their own well-being and, if desired, contributing positively to the situation. This could involve limiting news consumption, practicing self-care, engaging in advocacy, or supporting humanitarian efforts. And looking to the future. While acknowledging the present hardship, Adlerian therapy is future-oriented. The therapist would encourage clients to envision a more peaceful future and to identify steps they can take today to move towards that vision, however small. In essence, an Adlerian therapist would help individuals deal with the Israel-Iran war by empowering them to find their agency, encouraging their innate capacity for social interest, challenging unhelpful beliefs and goals, and fostering resilience through connection and meaningful contribution, even in the face of profound global conflict. I hope you found this helpful and informative. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comments section, and I'll speak to you next time.